What's going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time to wrap up round 16 of the 2024 NRL season, guys. Short round, only 5 games, plenty of buys, couple beauties, and a few absolute stinkers this round, guys. We went okay on the punt. I'm guessing about even. It's hard because I put a few futures down as well, but haven't dropped below my threshold, so not too bad. We had okay. Today was an absolute stinker. An absolute stink. I know this game we went pretty good. But yeah, guys, let us know how you went. How'd you go on the punt? Let us know how many you got out of 5. I think we only got 3. A couple of stinkers there as well. But hey, at the end of the day, all I'm worried about now is State of Origin, baby. I was just counting down last minutes of that game going, I just want this game to end so the next game of rugby league is State of Origin, guys. I absolutely cannot wait for that. I'll put all my prediction videos up as well, guys. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Yeah, all my bets, all my punts, all my predictions, just everything to do with the State of Origin game, guys, is all in there. So make sure you check that one out. Let's get into it. Make sure you subbed, all that good stuff, guys. And preview for... Oh, damn it, I don't have the window up. I will be live streaming the game on Kick as well, guys. So make sure you follow me on Kick. If you go to my profile page, there is a link there. It's all my links. You can click and follow me on Kick there if you do want to ride our bets out on Kick as well, watching the State of Origin game. How good. Absolutely cannot wait. All right, Storm win against the Dolphins, 30-24. Titans absolutely hump the Warriors and take them out of finals contention. Seriously, that's wow. Roosters get it done against the Bulldogs. Rabbitohs defeat the Sea Eagles in, I think, the worst game of rugby league I've ever seen. Worst game of NRL I've ever seen. Jesus Christ, it was awful. And the Tigers get it done against the Raiders, 48-12. Yeah, I'm happy for the Tigers, but Jesus Christ, those Raiders were pretty damn bad at the start. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the ladder. We'll just refresh and make sure it's all up to date. All right. Storm out on top, 2 points ahead, 11 wins, 3 losses. Penrith Panthers, Sharks all keep their spot in the top 3, and the Roosters round out the top 4. I have a very sneaking suspicion this is going to be our top 4 this year, guys. Obviously not locked in or anything like that, but Sharks, Panthers and Storm I think might finish 1, 2 and 3, and Roosters are vulnerable there. They're only 2 points ahead of 10th. If you break it down, we go right down here. They're only 2 games ahead, 2 points ahead of the Raiders there, but I like what they're doing. The team looks nice. I think they're going to drop games on the way home, but yeah, I think they're looking real nice. And if you look at the betting too, to win the comp, they're in at 550. They're actually ahead of the Brisbane Broncos as far as winning the comp this year. Broncos have dropped down to $7. Penrith are just so short, $3, 550. Wow. Doggies keep their spot in 6. Broncos and Cowboys move up into the 8. Dragons up into 9th. Raiders slip down to 10th. That was a big loss for them. Sea Eagles down to 11th as well. That was a big loss for them too. Knights up into 12th. Warriors down into 13th. That's them done. Rabbitohs done. Titans, great win. And look at this. The West Tigers are ahead of the Parramatta Eels. Parramatta Eels are coming last. Parramatta Eels are getting... Does that everyone think? Is Parramatta Eels getting the spoon this year? They're definitely not the worst team in the comp, but who knows, man? They could get the spoon. How insane is that? Still paying 226-1 to win the comp. How is that not void? I guess mathematically they can make the 8. But wow. So absolutely nuts, man. Crazy year, man. I've been saying, I just had a mate just then say, I'm giving up tipping and button. I'm like, man, don't give up just because it's hard, man. Well, you want it to be like the AFL, where it's just, you just pick the favourite and it wins every time? This is good, man. It's a challenge. It's an absolute challenge. Don't want it to be easy. If it was easy, then we'd be getting $1.10 odds on everything, like we do in the AFL and the tennis and stuff like that. We can't make any money. That's how it goes. All right, Storm versus the Dolphins. Now, I was watching this at the pub with my fam, so I wasn't like zoomed in on it. But initial thought, Storm just keep winning games like, let's have a look at their actual wins and stuff. But they're just winning games like like they're leaking a lot more tries than normal. Let's have a look just more recently, but they just keep winning. So they win again, score 30, leak 24, score 38, leak 24, score 36, leak 28. Well, they lost that one, but 20 to 26, 46. I mean, that's pretty convincing. But they just keep winning games, and it's more recently than any time else, but it's just bizarre, man. It's very not Melbourne. But they're winning. Someone said, yeah, they're not going to do anything leaking the points in the... Well, Cowboys won the comp leaking 26 a year, 26 a game. It's possible. It's not ideal, but it can be done. I mean, you just have to get to that big dance, man. Doesn't matter if you win 30 to 28, you still win the comp. So, yeah, I'm really... Because I was thinking the same thing. Oh, I don't know if they can, they're leaking a lot of points. Even though they're winning games, they're leaking a lot of points. They just keep winning. They're a winning club. They know winning footy. They know how to get over the line when it's close. I mean, what's the real difference to the Sharkies one? Where they were scoring about 14 points a game, but only conceding about 10, and they ground. They won a lot of close games, but they just kept winning. Does it matter if you leak a few points if you keep winning? I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously it's not ideal. You'd much rather, sort of. I guess it's not a ridiculous amount, but they're for and against like Penrith. Like Penrith have conceded 60 less points for them. It's not silly amount, but yeah, they just keep getting it done, guys. It's pretty damn wild. We'll have a look at some team stats quickly, how this game played out. I thought Dolphins are great, man. I was just sitting there going, man, Dolphins are so good for their second year. Like, we're into round 16 now. We're about to look at this. They're about to win a bunch of stats against the Melbourne Storm. We're sitting on top of the ladder, and they only lost by a converted try against the Melbourne Storm. This is just incredible what the Dolphins are doing. 1,800 run meters to 1,600. Lost the post contact there, but just barely. 4 line breaks apiece. Tackle breaks almost identical, 36, 37. Average set distance better. Ruck speed about the same. 22 offloads to 11. That's crazy. Effective tackles, both pretty low from both teams, but 37 missed tackles to 36. 10 errors apiece. Split it. Pretty even game when you think about it. Jermaine Asako, just want to give him a rap. Jesus Christ. 235 metres, 50 post contact, 1 line break, 5 tackle breaks. He's so good. And I'm just loving this Trey Fuller. He's so fun to watch, man. He would just hit 2 of his carries were just like straight hit ups. I'm like, bro, have you stepped onto a set of scales lately, lad? You shouldn't be doing that. But he does it. He's a beast. Absolute beast, man. I thought their middles were good. They held their own. Look at him, Mark Nichols, 156, 60 post contact, 2 tackle breaks. That's brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. Thought Jesse Bromwich was pretty good. Who we got? What do we got for? Will Warbrick, man. I've been waiting. He was a gun last year, and I really enjoyed watching him play. And I actually had him as Melbourne's leading try scorer. He's been a bit off this year, but he looked really nice, and especially he looked like his combination with Jerome Hughes looked really good. That's why I had him as leading try scorer. I thought Jerome Hughes would be a bit more dominant this year on his side rather than Munster's side. And I really thought, especially we knew Munster was going to be out for a while at the start of the year, I was like, man, I reckon Will Warbrick's going to have a year. And he's been a bit off, but he was really nice. I mean, 94 metres, 53 post contact, 1 line break, 2 try assists, 3 tackle breaks. That's nice. That's a really nice effort from a winger. So, it was really good to watch. And Jerome Hughes, Jesus Christ, I mean, what did he end up with? Where is he? 10 runs, 94 metres, 1 line break assist, 2 try assists, 4 tackle breaks. He's really good. Really, really good. So, yeah, I'm not... Melbourne Storm just keeping on, and I have them almost locked in for the... How were their... Let's go back here. Let's have a little look-see at their run home and see how they're looking. See how they're looking for their run home. All right. Raiders, very winnable. They were awful today. Tigers, bye. That's nice. Then they have Roosters, Parramatta Eels, Dragons, Rabbitohs, Penrith, Dolphins. It's pretty tasty, man. So I'd almost be locking up Storm to a top 4 finish. That's very winnable. I mean, I see them dropping 3 or 4 games, possibly max, out of all this. I'd go probably win. It's at home. They could possibly win that. Win, lose. Let's just say they lose that, win that, lose that maybe. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of wins there. At worst, there's maybe 4 losses. So yeah, I'd be locking Melbourne in for a top 4 finish, guys. Something would have to go catastrophically wrong for them to drop out of the 8, in my opinion. So shout out to the Melbourne Storm, and honestly shout out to the Dolphins as well. Warriors versus the Titans. I had 2 stinkers on the punt. This was one of them. Sometimes when you're on the punt, or you just think Warriors have to win this, and they're a better team, so they're gonna win. And then they just turn up like, what the hell, man? Like this was. I said in my TikTok video, man. I feel so embarrassed, Warriors supporters, man. Like they're some of our best fans. They've sold out every home game. The Titans has had their biggest crowd of the year because Wars fans showed up to go watch them play on the Gold Coast, and they'd put up this. And I want to say this too. So this is on. We just watched the Raiders get a hiding from the Tigers with a lot of their older stars out. Warriors, when all their players are out, looked great. I honestly think there's a huge 20 years ago, you know what I mean? Like 15 years ago when I was sort of, in and around rugby league still, and like, you know what I mean? I was, watching grade and then watching Young Bucks versus, there was a huge gap between a genuine first grader and a good young player or a grade player. I honestly think that gap has shrunk dramatically. Like we just saw the Tigers, we just saw the young Kiwis, the young Warriors players, a month ago, beat Penrith and stuff like that. I honestly think that gap's closed so dramatically. And I honestly think that in the past, players, the genuine first graders, you know what I mean? The not household names, but the guys that walk into an NRL team, wherever they go, they're well known. They've probably played a rep game or 2 or whatever, this sort of that. I reckon those guys better be watching their back, because I reckon there's a lot of guys 18, 19, 20 years old that are better than a lot of these guys playing first grade at the moment. Seriously, I reckon I'm just, even like, because my son's 13 now, and you know what I mean, so I'm watching a lot of under 13s, 14s, 15s, and even 16s just to see the standard and just get my head around a lot of it. And so I'm around junior. They are so much better than they were 20 years ago. Like these kids coming through, and I can only imagine. I just mentioned a bunch of the Tigers players that are just absolutely killing it. The narrative from like Joey Johns, they're like, no good halves are coming through. No good halves are coming. They're like, who? They're... And then next minute it's like Katoa, Lockie Galvin, Ethan Strange, like is it Sanders from the I'm like, what was Joey smoking, bro? Like, there is so many weapons coming through, and I honestly think if these first graders don't pull their fingers out, and like these more successful teams, I think we might see some of these guys playing Super League a little earlier than we thought, because the standard is so high. Man, I was watching my son's game. They're slotting sideline conversions to win games at under 14, so they're 13 years old. I'm just sitting there going, like, my son won a game a month ago. They were hitting goals from the sideline to win a game. Val Holmes is missing them from in front. Like, Val Holmes is kicking 50%. Matt Burton's kicking 50%. Matt Burton's been killing it, but you know what I mean? I'm just sitting there going, Jesus, these kids are getting good. And I reckon, honestly, a lot of these guys in these teams that are underperforming, the Parramatters, the Warriors, Raiders, Manly, whoever, I reckon these guys have to watch their backs, because I reckon there's probably some better kids in grade going to come snap up their spots, and if they're not putting in that effort, I reckon they could lose their spots. That was just a little rant I had on the top of my head, because I'm watching a lot of these players that are genuinely either have been or are good players, but they're just not performing week in, week out, and I'm going, I reckon there'd be someone in the under 19s, around 19, 18 years old that's better than this guy somewhere. Just doesn't have a contract. So these Warriors fans, I mean, there's those young buck Warriors that beat Penrith and I can't remember who else they beat, but some of these guys better watch their backs, man. Like, seriously, like, yeah, it's bad. But anyway, I don't want to harp on about the Warriors too much. It was just really disappointing, man. Like, the Warriors just really created a movement, and they should have been playing finals footy this year. It was just not good enough. Look at this. And just quietly, AKP, bro. Every time I punt on you, you miss, and every time I don't, you at least score 2 tries. And bro gets 3. Come on, man. Come on, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Jaden Campbell flawless with the boot. Just on Jaden Campbell, I was a bit like when he was playing numbers, they kept saying, the narrative was as well, I think Willie Mason and a few other people said, he can't play in the front line, he's too small. I don't think he's that small, eh? I think 6 might be his position. I like him there. He looked really nice. Like, I reckon get him in the gym this off-season. Just fill his legs up. He's got to get them legs bigger. Not massive, you know what I mean? Like you look at Reece Walsh's legs, they're big, man. Like, he's not a big man, Reece, but he's really filled out. He's been hitting them squats. He's been doing them lunges, man. He's been loading up the leg press. And he's got big legs. And I reckon if Jaden Campbell just fills his legs up a bit, I think he can play in the middle. Or not in the middle, but, in the halves. And I think he's pretty nice there. And then that allows you to bring Brimson in, back into fullback, because he is, Keeney's great. Jaden Campbell's great. I think AJ Brimson's still the best fullback they've got. But look, I don't want to take anything away from the Titans because it was such a good win, but Jesus Christ, let's have a look at some of these team stats. 87%, that's great. 36 completed sets from the Titans. 2,000 metres run. And restricted the Warriors' big forward pack to 1,400. That's great. 12 line breaks to 1. 46 tackle breaks to 24. 52 metres average set distance to 39. They skittled them, bro. They just blew them off the park everywhere. Tackle efficiency, 88 to 84. 24 missed tackles, brilliant, to 46. That's great. Intercepts, 1. 7 errors. If you're under 10, you're doing all right. That's great. To 13. I'm not going to look at the Warriors players' stats, but let's have a look at some of these Titans because they deserve some love. Where was he? Jaden Campbell, 26 points, 1 try, 11 conversions. Jesus. All right, here we go. Keanu Kenny, 249 metres, 3 line breaks, 1 try, 6 tackle breaks. AKP, 224 metres, 2 line breaks, 3 tackle breaks. Brian Kelly, 175, 2-1-1-5. Wow. Kieran Foran's defence was just on it. He was so good, man. He was amazing. I thought Keenan Palacia had his best game of the year by a mile. I've been pretty disappointed with him this year. He was Broncos' best player that wasn't named, best forward that wasn't named Payne Haas or Pat Carrigan last year. Fleggs is probably 4th best. He was good though. He was really good. Dave Fafita was just on one last night. I had him as a try scorer. It didn't hit, but 195 metres, 1 line break assist, 10 tackle breaks, and just looked like the strongest bloke on the park. He was absolutely incredible. What else we got here? Tanner Boyd didn't get any game time. Yeah, just great effort from the Titans. Like, I don't think they beat any other team in the comp by 66, but I definitely think they would have beat quite a few teams the way they played. But yeah, Warriors were awful, but yeah. Roosters Bulldogs. So Burton started at centre, which was weird. Yeah, which I thought was very strange. And then they sort of moved him. We hit everything in this game, actually. We hit unders on both teams, and we hit both our try scorers, Skelton and Dom Young, which was great. So that was really good. To me, it was pouring down rain. I don't think the bookies adjusted. We hit this easy. We had Roosters under 38, I think, and Bulldogs under 24, and I just saw the weather and went, cha-ching, lock. Absolute lock. And people in the comments on the bet were going, Roosters are going to put 50 on them. I'm like, in this weather? No chance. Look, Drew Hutchison in the centres obviously wasn't great, but I think he sort of did come in. It was a bit weird. I don't think Serraldo quite nailed that late change very good. But to me, what happened here was a bloke named Tyrrell May and another bloke called Jerry Hargraves owned the middle, bro. Like, they absolutely... these blokes here didn't have a chance. Like, they got absolutely manhandled through the middle, and then Sam Walker backed them up with just great wet weather footy half work. Just beautiful, nice short kicks. It was an absolute masterclass. I know this isn't an absolute touch-up or anything like that, and I'll probably credit the Bulldogs for it not being a touch-up, but they were surgical. They were absolute surgical with that. There was just perfect wet weather footy. Just big, strong forwards blasting through the middle. And then on defense, just stopping Bulldogs forwards in their absolute tracks, slow play the balls. It was just absolutely beautiful. Doggies, they looked a bit out of sorts at the start because they were getting blitzed, and then they didn't. Like I said, I don't think Serraldo handled that laid out of Bronson Xerri very well. But I thought there was some guys were pretty good. But Salmon was pretty nice at the start. It was hard to tell whether Viliami was off or whether Bulldogs did a good job of just limiting his damage. Curran had an absolute foul game, but you know what I mean? He's been so good for the Doggies this year. He's allowed one. He's allowed an absolute stinker. I'm sure he'll bounce back next week and be just fine. Yeah, but it was just hard. So this is the problem, and let's just pretend both these teams were pretty full strength. I mean, Bulldogs got blitzed through the middle, and then I think they scored a try. And then little Curtis Morin's taken a carry from the back fence. Love the bro, love his effort, but bro, zero impact. Absolute skittled. You know what I mean? They just lacked the cattle to sort of help. Let's pretend they were full strength, and Jared Hargraves and Lindsay Collins are there, and then Tyrrell May and Spencer Lenu come on. You get what I'm saying? Definitely lack of cattle for the Doggies. And just on Tyrrell May, I'll tell you what, man, this might be controversial or might be a hot take. I genuinely think he could be a better rep forward than Payne Haas, eh? Seriously, he comes off the back fence harder. He gets better and better and better as the game goes on. He played 80 minutes in the middle. I don't know if Payne ever has. He might have. But I hear people say, he could play 80. But I don't think he actually has. He might have. I might be wrong. He was so good from minute 1 to minute 30. I think Victor Radley did the post-game not press conference, but sideline review thing. And they brought up how good he was. And Victor Radley said, I couldn't believe he was on the park the whole time because Victor obviously plays 80. And he said, every time we had the ball, I'd just hear this, yo. And he'd be running up to take a carry with his hands up. Yo. Yo. He is a freak, man. He is... to me, he's been better than Payne Haas this year, like I just said. And that's not me dissing Payne. Payne's... this is saying how good this dude's been. He's had a couple games where he's been down, but it's more Robbo hasn't given him the minutes. I don't think he's been that bad in a game. It's just there's been a couple games where he's literally played 25 minutes. Let's have a look at his stats here. I mean, here we go. Tyrrell May try in the middle, 214 meters. Don't know if Payne Haas has had many 200-meter games this year. 76 post contact, 5 tackle breaks. 3 offloads, 37 tackles, 2 misses. That is a game, bro. That is, and not only that, man. The amount of times I've seen him make a tackle on an edge, I'm like, what are you doing out there, bro? Bro's making a cover tackle on an edge. I remember seeing him for the first time, right? For the Roosters coming off the bench, played like 15 minutes. You know when sometimes you just see something in someone? And I was just like, that dude looks like he's a monster. Like, that dude looks like he's going to be the best front rower in the game. And then he just sort of didn't get much game time. I was like, man, I think this dude's like going to be the best prop in the game. I'm not saying he's going to, but just looked like that. I was like, who is this dude, man? And then I obviously heard of the May family, Penrith. It was just like, man, he's so good, bro. Like, he's so good. Like, man, Penrith would be absolutely kicking themselves with losing Fisher Harris and they're missing out on him. Absolutely kicking themselves. Tedesco was pretty damn solid. 249 metres, 1 line break, 13 tackle breaks. Dom Young had a better game than he did last time. Tupou was great, actually. 204 metres. 5 post-contact metres every time he took the ball up. Like, they just couldn't get under him. He was absolutely brilliant. I thought Jared Reed-Hargraves was just beast. Like, you know what I mean? I wonder why Reed Marnie wasn't flaring up and getting under people's skin. I wonder why. Because he would have got shots put on him, that's why. It cracks me up when he only gets under dudes' skin that aren't going to shoot him. But yeah, it was it was pretty funny. Reed Marnie kills me. Why are you talking trash in this game, Reed? Hey? I feel well, it was cool. I thought I'm liking Victor on her edge. I actually think I like it better than him in the middle. He can play in the middle. I love him as a middle. I still think he's easily a top 10 lock in the game. At minimum, closer to 5 to be honest. But I like him on the edge. He folded a couple blokes. He was great. But this is much better from the Roosters. I mean, in torrential rain, 85%. Absolutely brilliant. Ran for 1,700 metres, restricted to 1,400, 600 post-contact to 460, 5 line breaks to 2, 60 tackle breaks to 42. Jesus Christ. Pouring rain, so not many average set distance between the two lads. 8 offloads, so not many offloads. 3 of those were Tyrrell Mace. 13. What else we got here? Anything else interesting? Beautiful 40-20 from the Cheese. 82%. 42 missed tackles. Jesus Christ. To 60. Not great there from either team, to be fair. 13 errors? How do they have 13 errors but completed at 82%, 85%? Well, they had 47 sets, that's why. Yeah, there you go. It's a lot of sets. Yeah, look, doggies. Let's have a little look-see. So where are they sitting now? 6th? What's their run look like now? We'll have a look at their doggies and we'll have a look at the Roosters, where they're going. Because Roosters really want to finish in the top 4 if they want to be a genuine threat. So doggies have the Sharkies. That's going to be tough. Then the Warriors. We don't know where they're going to be at. They need to win at least one of these last 2. And then they have a bye, which is great. Then they've got to go up to Townsville, which is tough. Then they've got to go up to Brisbane. That'll be tough. Raiders, we don't know what we're going to get with that. You don't know what you're going to get with the Dragons. Dolphins at home, pretty achievable. Warriors in New Zealand, we don't know what we're going to get. So look, it's not a bad draw for the Dogs. It's there for if they have a real nice run home. You know, they're a genuine top 8 possibility. Where the hell? Oh, I hate when it does that. Roosters. Who the Roosters got? So they've got to finish in the top 4 if they want to win the comp. Tigers, Dragons, bye. Nice. Storm, Tuffy. Sea Eagles, Dolphins, bye. So they've got these nice little two-game windows. And then Parramatta, Titans, yeah, Roosters finishing in the top 4. There you go. Roosters finish in the top 4. You've heard it here first on Snag Sports. Yeah, I think they get it. Shout out to the Roosters. We're finally seeing... I don't want to talk about this game, bros. I was just laughing. This was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Let's have a look at some of these team stats here. How did they complete 82%? They had 47 sets, that's why. This was just so ugly, man. They ran for 2,000 metres. I was so just going... It was 8-0 for so long. I was just so bored, man. Anytime anything looked like it was going to happen, there'd be an error. There was no build-up of anything. It was just awful, awful game. from both teams. Like, I think they both admitted it was pretty damn poor. I had the unders, and I was sitting there going, yeah, but I had Sea Eagles to score 12 points, and I was like, they can score 12 points in a full game of footy. But the unders I think I got was at like 61. So I was like, I was so confident that neither total wouldn't be over 61, but I was like, I at least thought both teams were going to score about 14 points. Sea Eagles don't even score a point, bro. Far out. So ugly. It just goes to show how good Cherry Evans is, man. You know, he's a bit like Mitchell Moses for Parramatta. Like, Mitchell Moses came back and just immediately made that team look better. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about this game. We'll have a look at some of the stats and we'll move on. But yeah, look, Bunnies 4 on the trot. Sea Eagles, I mean, they really needed to win this one if they wanted to keep that finals hunt home. I mean, they still can. I mean, I think they get Turbo back next week. So we'll have a quick look at the Sea Eagles just because... Oops, wrong one. Just because I believe they get Turbo back. And where are they coming? They're coming 11th. So they're only like one game out of the 8. So obviously they can make the 8 pretty easily. They're going to need a nice run home though. So they got that's right, they got the bye and then Turbo comes back. So Turbo's ready for round 18. Then they got the Cowboys in North Queensland, tough game, and this game could decide whether one of these teams makes it because these guys are sitting side by side. The Cowboys have leaped up. They were side by side before the weekend kicked off. Big game. Then they got Knights winnable. Then they got Titans winnable. Tough game against the Roosters. Then a bye. So if they can go win. Let's just say they lose this one, bye. That's 8 points. That's nice. Then they have Canberra winnable. Then they have Warriors winnable. Then they have the Tigers winnable. Doggies winnable. Sharkies tough game, but Manly, they're a little dark horse. I don't know what they're paying to make the 8. I'm not saying they're gonna, but like they definitely could. Like Turbo comes back, this team's obviously a lot better, and yeah, we don't know. Like they could go on a nice little run here. Like I said, if they can go win, loss. Let's just say bye, win. Even let's say they lose that one, win. Or win that one, lose that one. That'll get them in the 8. So definitely a chance. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And Rabbitohs look nice. Everyone looks like they're playing for contracts. Obviously, Wayne Bennett's been wheeled in the axe a little bit in there. And it looks like everyone's Kilamatangi looks like he's just gone, oh, better pull my finger out or I might be out of here. Yeah, let's not talk too much about this game. It was absolutely putrid. Oh, Tigers. I mean, I mentioned this a little bit before talked about the Warriors. I mean, let's look at this Tigers team. Buller, star, but a young star. Fatape, Naden, Dewey. How good was it to see Dewey? Lachlan, Stefano, Appy, Pole, Porter, Finu, Matamua. Like, we're not recognising many of these players. You know what I mean? But they just... It's just like, look at those old guys there that would just... I don't want to bag them because I'm not, because I actually like them. I actually like a couple of them personally. But Twal, Bateman, Papali'i, Clemmer. 3 pretty big players. They would actually, you know what I mean? Like played rep, you know, all that sort of stuff. I thought these young bucks trained harder, tackled harder. And sometimes that's what it boils down to. It's just... That's just what I was saying before the Warriors. I reckon there's some of these young guys are genuinely better than these guys who we just assume they're better because we know their name and we've seen them a lot. Oh, they must be better. Are they, bro? Is Alex Twal just getting a run because he's played 120 games? Is he actually that good? Is this is this Fanu better? Is this Matamul better? Is Pole better? Just because these guys have only played 8 or 9 games, they might be. So yeah, I think a lot of guys have to be watching their back over the next few years. I reckon there's a few of those names I just mentioned are probably going to be off into the Super League pretty damn soon. Pretty poor effort from the Raiders. They looked flat. I tipped the Raiders in this one because I think they had a pretty poor loss a bit earlier in the season, and then Ricky got into them and they responded. So I thought they had a really poor loss last weekend, and I thought they were going to be really good this weekend. They were not. They looked flat, tired, completely outgunned, out enthused. I I don't know about Wolford at hooker. They need to sort that out ASAP because some of that hooker play, I reckon he threw about 3 forward passes that weren't called as well. Or even if they weren't, like, bro, why are you throwing it so flat to risking a forward pass? You know what I mean? Like, you play against the Bulldogs at Belmore and then you throw them that close. The ref will just call it a forward because the crowd's blowing up. You know what I mean? Like, don't throw it so flat, lad. Like, the forwards were catching the ball way out in front. Like, I mean, you want to be out in front, but not way out in front. Huddy Young blew it for me. Just a poor performance, really. Just really not good. We'll have a look at Weeks, he had a pretty good game. I think fullback might be his position. We'll have a look at some of these Tigers stats, eh? Buller, 20 runs, 177 metres, 2 tackle breaks. For Tarpe, he looks strong, man. Lockie Galvin, 181 metres, 16 post contact, 1 line break, 1 try assist, 7 tackle breaks. Stefano Ikumanu, he was really good as well. 70 metres, 1 line break, 1 try. Api Coruscant's brilliant as always. But just so good to see Adam Dewey back. 212 metres, 40 post contact, 2 line breaks, 1 try assist, 5 tackle breaks. What a game from Dewey. 3rd knee reconstruction, lad. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, shout out to the Tigers, man. They got themselves off the wooden spoon. I believe they've won the same amount of games as they won last year already. And they've got, 9 games left. Also, just big shout out. Like, to me, 3 weeks ago, I was saying their body language looks gone. Like, even this week, I said I felt like they played their grand final, just getting that one last win for the year. You know, that's what I honestly thought they looked like. They put so much effort in that win against the Titans. And I just thought, that's why I thought Raiders were just going to come in and wipe the floor with them. Nah. So shout out to the Tigers, man. Shout out to Tigers. 81% completion. Won the meters. Probably didn't win the forward battle because they had a lot of runaway tries, but yeah, they were good, man. 11 offloads, 12 kick defusals, 86%. They absolutely tortured Rapana. 49 missed tackles, going to have to tidy that up. And 9 errors, not too bad. 1 sin bin. But yeah, they obviously had that sin bin and it sort of made the score look not so bad for the Raiders, but hey, what do you do? But yeah, shout out to the Tigers, guys. All right, let's have a look at next week's games real quick, lads. And don't forget to sub everything, guys. We just got over 6K, but we want 7K soon. I want 7K before State of Origin. But yeah, we've got some... next week should be a goodie because we've got most of the games. So there's 7 games next week. So Bunnies, Sea Eagles and Titans all get a rest. Bulldogs, Sharks, huge game for the Bulldogs. Huge game for the Bulldogs. Warriors versus the Broncos. Warriors probably win this just because they were so bad last week. Broncos have to travel on short notice, not short notice, thinking UFC from today. Have to travel to New Zealand after State of Origin on Wednesday. You get 3 days. Well, not really. Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, they're your 2 days off. So you get 2 days off, then it's game day again. Someone was like, it's 4 days, they'll be fine. I'm like, well, technically you get 2 days off and then you're playing again. So did you count? Did you learn how to count at school, bro? Wednesday's a game, Thursday, Friday, and then you play Saturday. So that's 2 days off. Yeah, that's a big game for both teams, really. I mean, Warriors can technically salvage their season, you know, and they would have been pretty damn embarrassed. And they owe their fans so big. So big. They've been awful at home. Broncos, if they lose this one, they can obviously still sneak into 4th, getting up any... You really want to finish 2nd or 1st if you're going to win the comp, because then you got home finals the whole way. Even if you sneak into 4th, you're probably going to have to play Penrith or Melbourne in Penrith or Melbourne first game. You know, so it's going to be tough. So will Reese back up? Will Paddy back up? Will Payne back up? I think they might have to. Crazy. Knights versus the Eels. 12th versus 17th. Storm versus the Raiders. Yeah, this could be Raiders season too. Really could. Really could. Dragons versus the Dolphins. Big game for both teams. These are all pretty. A lot of these games have big implications on these guys' seasons. Well, we're getting to that time of the year, aren't we? Penrith versus the Cowboys. Cowboys going to want to get up for this one. They're going to have a lot of players backing up. So will Penrith. Both teams should have a handshake thing and just say both teams will rest our stars. Well, let's see who's got the most depth. Roosters versus the West Tigers. Yeah, that win streak for the Tigers might stop there. We'll just say quietly. Oh, that's it, lads. That's it, lads. We're all done. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Actually, first, if you've made it this far, you know what that means. You're an absolute legend, lads. You're an absolute legend. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.